Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Provost Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
We made it, Josie. Wow.
We did.
We made it. I'm out of breath. Ooh, you know this microphone really picks up on that too. You hear that?
I did.
Is this even working this morning? Hold on. Yes, it is. That's working. Can you hear us out there, Huntsville? Good morning. It's weird. See, I don't have a... Normally I see things right here. I don't see anything. You see this little guy right here? Mm-hmm. Ooh, hold on. Boy, I'm really out of breath. It's because it's so cold, my lungs are still frozen this morning.
Oh.
Watch this. Here we go. I know that we're coming through. At least I would think that we are. Let me do this. I just have to be able to see what we're doing. There it is. Okay, I know that we're there. Welcome in. Here we are. I've really missed being here the past couple of days.
I bet.
You know, I get into this rhythm, and then you get all these days off, and weird things happen, and... Can I just publicly say I'm not a fan of time off anymore? Is that bad?
Yes.
I'm not a fan. You know, you get into rhythm. I like to work. I like to do things. And I'm out of sync. Because of time away. Because of days off, Josie. You see, I can't even hold my phone. I'm all over the place. Oh, what have you been up to?
I recently took a class. So I did that from home. So I've been home a lot too. I did that from my house. It was like a 3-day long class. And then we had a teacher training on Monday. That was a lot of fun. And then yesterday I got to stay home and play in the snow.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Winter weather made its way, and just as quickly as it came, the precipitation left.
Yep. Just like that, it was gone.
I saw some people north of town, just north in Brookview, posted a picture, and they hardly had any snow whatsoever.
Really?
And then we're down in Elkins on the very south side of town, and, man, we got hit with like an inch and a half.
Mm-hmm. We got a good bit, too.
So I was really surprised at the difference in snowfall amounts, and I love this kind of weather, by the way. You know, I was telling you whenever we walked in, it was a little chilly in here, but I was actually sweating on my way in this morning.
Oh my goodness.
I had a jacket on and everything else, and I said, this is a little too much. And woke up at 4 a.m., couldn't go back to sleep, and usually up 5:30 anyways, and took a shower early. Bridget's off work today, so she's probably going to keep the kiddos at home with her, and then I just didn't know what to do, so I went ahead and called Molly. I pick up a friend of mine every morning, Miss Molly, and I said, can I come get you early? She said, yep. So I picked her up at like 6:40, which never happens. And went to McDonald's, got my good breakfast in, came over here, got here at like probably 6:50, 6:45, and then twiddling my thumbs for 30 minutes. Want to take a nap, to be honest.
I don't blame you. If I was up that early, I'd want to take a nap too.
Yeah, it's just weird. But I'm glad to be back, and I don't think there's any more holidays. Please, no more holidays. I just want to get back into 5-day-a-week rhythm of Good Morning Huntsville and promoting the good in our community. Mm-hmm. I could have been here Monday and Tuesday. No, I couldn't have been here. You guys were closed Monday.
Yes.
At Tomorrow's Promise. And then Tuesday, y'all were closed. A lot of things were closed in town. And then it would just be just my luck that my wife picked up 2 shifts, Monday and Tuesday, a couple of weeks ago, not knowing any of this was going to happen with the weather. And so I got to spend the last 2 days at home with my children, which I enjoyed. But as I was telling you and others, when you got little ones that are in diapers and one of them in pull-ups, you don't get anything done except loving on your children.
Yep.
So I admire y'all even more. I don't know how y'all do it every day at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
It's great.
We are here. Welcome in, and welcome in to all of you that may be cold this morning as we get rolling on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. We do want to welcome all of you in. Many of you already joining us. We'll get to those in just a few moments. We are here, though. It is episode number 434, bringing you the good in our community. Many of you may be new to the show. If you've never joined us before, please do a comment, even if you have also, but please send us a comment and just say hello and good morning to us, and we'd love to see you out there as well. Our wonderful Wednesdays. A big thank you to our good friend Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Go see my good friend Elliot Herzlich. Again, that website, elliotsjewelers.com. And, of course, we could not be here without our great friends from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, Miss Josie Stowers joining us, the elegant and true professional Josie Stowers with us this morning. She is with Tomorrow's Promise. Rick and Kay are in the warm part of the world right now, I believe, right?
Yes. I don't think they got any snow.
Where'd they go? Cancun for a couple of days? Wow. Or not a couple of days, couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
So they are out enjoying the warm weather.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's weird. I was telling Molly this morning, too. I've had this really weird sore throat now going on 2 weeks. I don't know if you ever get pain, like, in the back part of your throat, like near your jaw joint and into your ear.
Uh-huh.
I've had that now for 2 weeks, and I thought it was getting better. But when I start talking, this is actually the worst it's felt since I've had it this morning, because I haven't really been talking a whole lot. And
is that your tonsils?
No, it's weird. It's like back in this joint back here, but in the back part of my throat.
Oh.
Into my ear. So it's telling me it's some sort of weird sinus infection thing. I have no idea.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, Josie, can I tell you a little bit? I like to be positive, but I also like to be real. Man, this last week was just chaotic. Okay, I've already started the show. May sound like Debbie Downer, saying everything's out of whack and out of rhythm. Well, we get up on. Well, let me start with this. I knew that all this bad weather stuff, this cold weather, was going to be moving in, right? So I wanted to make some early preparations, and I did. We've had an issue with our irrigation system now for quite some time, to where water had slowly been leaking out of it. And I said, I really need to get this fixed. And so I decided on, I don't know what day, Saturday. I decided Saturday I was going to get that fixed once and for all. Just have it ready for this winter weather that was coming up. So I went out there. I got, it's a weird part of the irrigation. Like, it's on the side of the house. I've learned, like, the water coming into the house from the city, there's one big pipe, it's an inch-long PVC pipe. You follow me so far? Mm-hmm. And then it splits off. And part of it goes to your house, which it connects PVC, the plastic pipe, to copper going into the house. That's your main water coming from the city into your house. And then before that, it splits into the irrigation also. So the main water coming into the house, it splits. House, irrigation line. They do that for a reason. You don't want your irrigation line to get cross-contaminated with your water in your house. Makes sense, right? You got all this water underground and all these open ports and valves. So it makes perfect sense. Well, I'm sitting here thinking when I replace all this on Saturday, there is something called like a vacuum breaker is what they call it. And the vacuum breaker it's a backflow preventer. It prevents water from backflowing back into the main water line. It's kind of technical jargon, whatever. But anyways, there's this little vacuum seal thing that sits up top. Well, that thing is notorious for cracking. Mine was all cracked. When we lived in Fargo, my previous tenants decided that they weren't going to wrap the pipes whenever it froze, and I didn't realize this. And so when we moved back into our house a couple of Marches ago, I turned on the sprinkler system because it was off. When I turned it on, water started going everywhere. It's because that backflow prevention device had cracked. And so I replaced part of it, and at least it was working again. Well, over time, it had cracked more and more on the actual cutoff valves, which are notorious if you don't wrap them up. So I decided Saturday I was going to finally once and for all fix that. But I could not find a main cutoff for the water. And so I don't know if you're supposed to, but I turned it off at the city side. Sorry. And then I replaced my preventer and all that stuff. All right, so we're good, right? Everything's cool. I got it all replaced. Turned the water back on, and I noticed it barely dripping. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And if something's barely dripping, it's not going to stop dripping. It's probably going to get worse. So once again, I shut the water off, and I cut a little piece of pipe, and I put another little thing on there, a little coupling part. I'm Rob the plumber here, happy homeowner. I glued it all back, let it sit for a good amount of time, turned it back on. No more leaking. We're good. I go to sleep Saturday feeling like, man, I've accomplished so much today, and got quotes from people. I mean, one company, I won't say names because I support local, but this was more of like a regional local, so it's not like local Huntsville. But, man, they quoted me close to $700 to do this fix.
Oh, my goodness.
Parts and supplies were under $200.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I did it. I was like, I don't have $700 to do this. And and I know how to do plumbing work. I'm not a licensed plumber, but I know how to do it. And so, anyways, I fix it myself. Everything's good. The plumber would probably, well, if you would have hired a plumber, it wouldn't leak the first time you turn the water back on. Well, too bad. I'll get to that in a minute. So I turn the water back on. We're good, right? Everything's good. Bridget, later that night, tells me the water faucets were kind of running weird. And I just brushed it off because when you turn the water off, it creates kind of air gaps in the pipes, and it takes a while for it to fill back up. And so the water faucets will kind of pop and sputter for a while.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So I just brushed it off, right? Well, I wake up in the morning Sunday excited, ready to go to church, feeling accomplished after a great Saturday, doing all this great work. And I noticed there's water all over the side of the house where I'd been working. You can already hear these professional players, well, that's why we charge $700. Well, guess what? It's actually one of y'all's fault. An irrigation guy's fault, probably. Because here's the deal. There's water everywhere. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I was excited. I was getting ready to go to church. This is like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, right? I go to the front yard. There's water everywhere. I look in the driveway. Water is gushing down the over the front yard, into the driveway, and down the street. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And at that moment, I knew something wasn't right. So I walked back around to the side of the house. And what did I hear, Josie?
Running water.
Running water. And I didn't just hear it, I saw it. And it was coming up like a little mini geyser on the side of my house, right near where I worked. So I'm sitting here thinking, man, this is great. I did all this great plumbing work. And here you go, plumbers. That's why we charge so much, because you don't know what you're doing. Immediately I thought there was something that I did, right? Wouldn't be coincidence that this thing is rushing like a geyser from a national state park in my side of my house. That it's not. It's got to be something I did, right? So I told myself, okay, well, maybe I should have hired a plumber because maybe they would have did something that even though I felt like I knew what I was doing. Mm-hmm. So once again, I turned the water off on the city side. Sorry, and I'm glad that I did because they probably wouldn't have came right away. Uh-huh. We go back and look at the cameras. This water had been gushing out since 9:30 at night and had no idea.
As soon as you walked away, it started.
Yeah, well, we saw a cam. My wife goes back and looks at our camera, and so she saw it. And anyways, I go shut the water back off. The water meter's completely full of water, so I had to. And it was cold Sunday morning. Let me throw that in there too. Very cold. So I put my hand down in ice-cold, frigid water trying to find that cutoff valve. Finally found it, put my tool in there, turned it off. And then I looked, and where that water was gushing out, here's the kicker. It wasn't near where I was working.
Oh.
It was about 2 feet away from where I was working. Uh-huh. Story gets better, by the way. I just like to make this really run long. And so I go out there and say, well, I got to get to Home Depot because I had just thrown away my rubber boots. I had some rubber boots that you use for like concrete and stuff like that, and they had gotten old. I'd just thrown them away a couple of weeks ago. So I ran to Home Depot, went ahead and bought some adapters that I thought I'd probably need. Because if a plumbing company is going to charge me $700 to replace this vacuum breaker, I can only imagine what they were going to charge for this. Probably $1,500, $2,000 easily.
Yes.
By the way, this was the main water to the house, so we have no water now. 2 children, no water. Okay, I didn't want to bother pastor here at church, and so I messaged our administrator and our worship guy, and I said, hey, I'm not going to make it today. There's no way. I've got to get this water back on. So I turn everything off. I go to Home Depot. I get my boots, get all the connectors I need. I get home, and I look where this water was gushing out. And conveniently, it's before everything. It's before the irrigation system and before it goes into the house. That's actually convenient because it's a little bit less that I think I have to do. Well, Josie, not the case. I don't like to use the word moron, but somebody who doesn't really know how to build things. And this was not a guy from our church that just rebuilt part of my fence. He's great. He is not that type of person, okay? But just conveniently, the part that he didn't rebuild, that was the original part of the fence, morons had built the fence on top of the main water line when I started digging the rest of it up.
Oh.
I was like, great, I'm going to have to tear out the fence now to fix this. Okay? So imagine the post of the fence. They dug a hole. They put concrete. The concrete is at the base of this post once I start digging on top of the main water line that's coming from the city side. So I'm thinking that's where the problem is. Mm-hmm. It finally cracked under pressure.
Yes.
How many of us have cracked under pressure? Well, this pipe had enough pressure. It cracked. That's what I thought, right?
Uh-huh. That makes sense.
So I get in there, dig it all out. By this time, I'm on my hands and knees. I have cardboard down because there's mud everywhere. It's cold. Mm-hmm. I started with gloves. I even bought waterproof gloves. Those didn't last long. I took them off. I said, forget this, and just started using my hands. So I'm cold, frozen. Thank goodness it happened, though, on Sunday and not Monday, especially yesterday. So that's one highlight. I get in there and dig it all out. There's 3 irrigation pipes also over the main water line.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this wasn't a little quick, dig a hole, cut it, repatch it type deal. So I said, man, how am I going to get to this? And I finally figured out, once I dug the hole, Josie, and got everything out, I barely turned the water back on, and I saw where it was coming out of. It was not due to that fence post being on top of the main pipe. Mm-hmm. There was a elbow joint, and the plumber or the irrigation expert, because irrigation guys think they're plumbers and they're not, they didn't do a good job sealing that back in 2017 whenever they built the house and put it in. So that elbow joint had actually cracked. And once I got in there and looked, I could tell why. I took a picture of it. They didn't properly put the glue on there, and over time it finally came out. So it was pure coincidence that all this happened right after I fixed the other issue. It was nothing related to it. Well, let me go back to the irrigation part where there's these 3 pipes over the main pipe, right? I couldn't get to that little elbow joint, so I said, I'm not going to have to do any irrigation stuff probably till March so I went ahead and cut all those irrigation pipes just so I could get to the main pipe, patch that up, and get water back to the house. That was my Sunday. By the way, I didn't fill it back up with dirt either because I knew in March I would have to go back in there.
Dig it up.
So I still had like 30 moving blankets from when we came back from Fargo. I thought I'd returned them to U-Haul. I guess I ended up getting charged for them, so I just kept them. Had like 30 of them. I stuffed them all down in this hole everywhere, and then put a board over it. So in the spring, I don't have to dig all that dirt back up.
That'll be good. That's good that you got it figured out.
Yeah.
That was a lot of twists and turns.
It's a lot of stories. It's a lot of like explaining what I had to do just to get. You're probably like, just get to the point already, man. But that was my weekend, Josie. Saturday and Sunday, getting to play plumber. But here's the positive thing. And someone had said, "Man, y'all been through so much." I said, it's not really that bad. And I said, praise God that, I was able to get in there and fix it on my own and didn't have to wait around or pay a ton of money. I mean, I ended up spending, by the time I fixed that and the other, close to $300.
That's not bad.
But this could have easily been a $2,500 weekend.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes. Or if the problem got worse and messed up something in the house, there's no telling what could have happened.
Yeah, knock on wood, I don't need any more issues. But yeah, that was it, and we are good to go now, and everything is A-OK. And I was going to show you just some photos here real quick, Josie. All right, let's go here. Let's do a little screen share. So here is the ultimate fix that I did. That little thing right, it's called a shark bite, and plumbers don't like this stuff, and it's only temporary. But this is where the elbow joint was, from where that little brass cap is over to that other pipe. That's the irrigation pipe. These other 3 are the other irrigation pipes.
Wow.
And so I cut out that elbow just to get to that, and then instead of having to glue and do all this other stuff, this little shark bite, wouldn't say it's really new technology, but it's pretty cool. You don't have to glue stuff anymore. You just pop that sucker on there and it plugs it up.
Nice.
The thing is, though, there's a plastic cap that's $2. That's $20 for that little brass cap. And they say that you can bury it and it's code and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't. And so right now what I did is I completely bypassed the irrigation system.
Nice.
So that was my weekend. And it was a lot of fun. That's kind of what it looked like there, Josie. And there's the pipe and all the corrosion inside where they didn't glue it properly.
Wow.
And now you can see why I had to cut it out. See those pipes on top of it?
Yes.
And then the top.
There's nothing you could have done to get to it.
No, and then that top, it's kind of misleading, but the top, that's where the fence post and the concrete was on top of the main pipe. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I always wondered, why isn't there a cutoff to my irrigation system? There is. The landscaping moron, a.k.a. guru, decided he was going to cover up the main cutoff to the irrigation system with felt paper and rocks. So when I got in to dig out this hole, I found it. Wouldn't have mattered anyways because it was after the part where the leak was. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was...
wow.
Yeah, there's the elbow. I had to buy a little $1.48 part. But, yeah, that's it. That little issue right there ended up... There's the water running down the street. You see that, Josie? This has been going on. There's the water going down the street. There it is all over the driveway. It's all over look how it puddled up in the yard. Yeah, that's what I got to deal with this past weekend.
Funny.
By the way, you see this graph. This is kind of funny, too. Totally different story. President Trump, before the inauguration, launched a meme coin, cryptocurrency. That thing's like the 4th highest cryptocurrency now.
Wow.
It was trading over $70 a coin. Started out at just a few dollars. And it's pretty crazy.
That is.
Yeah, it's called the Trump coin.
The Trump coin.
So anyway, that's what that was. But yeah, that's what I had to deal with. This is what I woke up to Sunday. That's not a good sight to wake up to, by the way.
No.
And where that water was gushing out of, it was gushing out of this little hole. That's the hole. That's the picture before I started digging everything up. It created that hole.
That's Old Faithful.
Yeah, that's the name I was looking for. So there you go. That's what I dealt with. It was a fun morning, though, and I was thankful that it happened Sunday instead of Monday or Tuesday. So.
Yeah.
Well, Josie, what else have you been up to? I know you've been busy. Things at Tomorrow's Promise are going very well.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this kind of education class that you just took over the past few days.
Yes, so it was through this company called, oh gosh.
I've heard of the Oh Gosh company before. They're really good.
Childcare Success Academy,
okay.
I think is what it was. And it was a 3-day long class all day. Refined my skills on proper marketing for the center, what needs to be marketed, what people care most about what people are looking for. And not that we weren't already implementing all those things in our school, but just it helped me gain a better understanding and how we can continue to do that better. So I'm excited about that.
When do you how long have you been at Tomorrow's Promise now?
A year. I hit a year on January 8th.
I figured that was coming up.
Yes.
Well, you made it through they call it the honeymoon period in any business. Like that first month to 3 months is kind of the honeymoon period. Because everybody comes in excited, right?
Yes.
I bet you were like stoked.
Oh,
right?
I was so excited.
Everyone comes into just like the new president. I'm not getting political. I'm just talking. There's, anytime there's a change of presidents or anything in that arena, it's a new wave of people. So there's new excitement for those people that work there, and then in any job that's there. But then after like 3 months, it's kind of what did I get myself into? Kind of happened to us in Fargo, to be honest. Like I thought the grass was greener on the other side. It definitely was not green there. It was gray. Good people, but it wasn't for us. But you make it through that, and what I love about you, Josie, is you're very passionate about what you do. Maybe highlight that a little bit more. Just when you wake up every day, what drives you to keep doing what you do for Tomorrow's Promise?
I love making people feel special and important, and I've always been that way, and I never knew what I wanted to do really growing up. I kind of just always thought, I'll get a good job and I'll be nice to people. That's how I'll, spread love and stuff. But now doing this, I've realized that there's so many people out there that, yes, I want to make people feel special, but there's nobody even giving them basic things needed to just be normal in society, if you know what I mean. Going back to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library and the books. And so I was really excited to do something that helps people feel normal, not just special, but also feel normal. And I think everybody deserves access to books and educational materials and love. And so I'm really happy to be at a place where, not through just the Imagination Library, but through the school, that's our main job. That's what we're passionate about, is making children feel loved and special and helping them grow. So I love it. That's
great. Y'all do such a great job, and I love having Braylon and Caden out there. They're both at the academy now, and they're doing very, very well. I kind of got flustered with Braylon, and I'm like, it's all thanks to that Tomorrow's Promise. And let me explain why. Braylon has developed a passion for pouring things now. Okay, that never happened until she went to school at Tomorrow's Promise. And I don't mind really, because it's water and it's like whatever. But she just wants to pour water all the time now. And I cannot leave plastic water bottles laying around, because she knows how to get them and open them up. She's strong. She can take the tops off of them now. And she pours them into her little playset teacups she has. And so, yesterday, and they're kind of at the age to where, you need to obviously you need to monitor your children. But I do give them a little bit of freedom around the house.
Yes.
Like, I know the boundaries of what they can do. And I also know if I haven't heard anything in 2 minutes that I better go check on them. And Braylon and her little brother, Caden, follows her everywhere. And now Braylon's going, come on, Bubba. And tells him to come into her room. And they're in there, cooking. They're like, I kind of peek my head around the corner. And Caden's sitting there down. His little legs are crossed. And she has this little play kitchen and with a little play oven. She's like, we're baking Daddy some cookies, Caden. And it's little play cookies.
Yes.
And it's the cutest thing ever. Well, all of a sudden things get really quiet. I go back in the living room and I said I didn't really get to do anything. I did. I got to relax a little bit, but I'm sitting there and there's no way I could study or do any work, though. Let's just put it that way. So I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I hear this kind of a slip and then, wah! Caden slipped on some water. He was okay. Where'd the water come from? Braylon. I said, Braylon, what are you doing? She said, I'm pouring water, Daddy. She was pouring water everywhere. Every little cup that she could find, she was pouring water into it. And under my breath, I was like, stinking Tomorrow's Promise. So you guys taught her that. So thank y'all very much.
That is awesome.
I was thinking about that in a good way, that my children are learning some really good things from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori School. So.
I think there's been a couple of times that I've heard Shelby say under her breath, this Montessori, because you want to give the children the freedom within limits, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you have to deal with water everywhere.
Oh, it was great though. I'm not going to complain. I absolutely loved it. Well, hey, I want to go back and show some really cool things. Children see things is magical. Mm-hmm. This winter weather that we just had, I loved it. It was the first time Braylon now remembers winter weather. She was up there in Fargo with me, obviously, for a little while, but she was really tiny. This was the night it started snowing. I had to take this picture. She's looking out the window because the snow was coming. And it actually helped me get her to bed. I said, if you don't go to sleep, the snow's not going to come.
Kind of like Santa.
And then I'm sitting there, and I said, it's going to snow a lot. I said, it's going to snow a big snow. She likes to say big, so I said, it's going to snow a big snow. Well, it didn't snow that big, but it snowed big enough. But look at her. You can barely see her reflection.
Yes.
And she's just mesmerized, and you can't even see it. But look how happy she is, looking out. She's waiting on the snow. We had a blizzard warning on the coast, which was nuts. Took some pictures of that. And this is what we woke up to. I'll be honest, I was disappointed. You see all that grass?
Yes.
It's misleading. I haven't mowed my grass in a long time.
Oh, so the snow is thick.
The snow was actually really thick. We got over an inch, about an inch and a half at our place. And
nice.
It was really cool, and you can kind of see there on the tops of the fences and the neighbor's house behind us. Braylon's passed out. It's like, wake up, the snow's here. This was me, trying to get her up. And then, boom, there she is again, looking at the snow, right? And she's so excited about it. And I'm trying to see if, there we go, that's better. And so she was ready to go outside. I said, well, we can't really wear that, sweetheart, because we need to put on a jacket.
Be very cold.
But my sister bought her these when we were in Fargo. They're little snow boots. So she finally got to wear her real snow boots. And Caden was ready to go.
Oh,
there they both are. I know the Bearcat fans in here. Well, I'm not friends with Rob anymore because North Dakota State. Well, get over it. They're good people too. So I put Caden in his North Dakota State hat. And we went outside, had so much fun. I just wanted to.
That looks like fun.
I like to brag on my little ones because I love them. There's Caden. He kept taking the hat off, by the way. See, there he is. And someone already commented, what's he doing without his hat on? I'm like, chill out, man. He's like me. He likes the cold weather.
He took it off.
But he was just happy.
Aww.
Now, I didn't have gloves for him, so I took socks and put over his hands. Braylon had her little mittens and everything. Here's the difference. Look at our neighbor's yard versus ours, so you can see the difference, right? Oh, yeah. And so naturally, the children and our neighbors are really cool people. It's Kim over there and her husband James. They're nice people. There's my truck, so there's a lot of snow. They decided to go over to the neighbor's house because the snow looked better.
The snow looked better.
The snow looked way better.
That's funny. Look at their little trail.
Yeah, so there's their little trail, walking over. But we had some fun. Braylon decided she was going to take her mittens off. Which for a child is kind of a nightmare because those are really hard to put on because you can't get their thumb in that little slot. I was like, Brandon, you just cost us 20 minutes of playtime. Caden's just having a ball.
Just going.
Yeah, just going. I'm glad y'all were closed yesterday because I probably would have brought them into you guys and then I wouldn't have been able to enjoy this. Let's see if these will play. I think some of these are videos too. This was Caden. You like his little sock gloves? Check this out.
I do.
That's how you do it, man. You got to improvise. The video's not going to play, but there he is there. There's Braylon. There they are playing. I mean, we just had a blast. It was definitely a wonderful day out there in the snow.
It looks like fun.
See if I got one more here of them. Oh, by the way, there was water that was also... There was water flowing right here.
Oh, wow.
Well, Caden made his way. I cut it off quickly because Caden made his way over here. This is why we had to go inside. And you can even see some little flakes flying.
Yes.
Caden made his way in, and he went down to that little curb right there, and he actually sat in the water. Oh. And so we decided to go in. But they were having fun.
They are.
I mean, it's so magical for children, right?
Yes.
There's my buddy, Caden. There's Braylon. This was in Houston somewhere. Kyle Kreiner is joining us. Kyle, is that where you guys went yesterday? Because Kyle said something about some park they went to, And I don't even know what it was or that it existed. This was in Houston, I think, and there were kids going nuts down this thing.
Wow, that looks like fun.
Yeah, there was some kid that had like the official snowboard. So, he's like, oh yeah, man, check me out. Yeah, I'm from Colorado, bro. I'm the cool kid. But yeah, we had a blast. But Kyle, let us know where you went. That was the same. What is that place, Kyle? He's messaging us this morning. So there you go. What did you do? And you couldn't make a snowman with the snow, by the way. It was too dry.
Yes, yeah. I just hung out outside for a little while. I woke up early. And where we live at, there's a pond a little ways in front of our house, and so we walked out to the pond and walked around, and the ducks swimming, and I was amazed by that. My cats loved it.
They swim, Josie. I'm just kidding. See, this is like the childlike faith that we need to get back into is getting excited about ducks swimming like Josie Stowers. If we would all be like that, this world would be such a happier place.
I was just thinking that their feet might be cold. I didn't realize, because they fly south for the winter, and I know that that's here, but I didn't know if maybe when it snowed here they migrated again, but nope, they were in the water fishing and
they were doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yes, yeah.
It was a fun, magical day. Now it's time to get back to work, and I'm thankful for that. So, well, hey, we're going to take a break. Don't have anything to give away today, but if you'd like to if you still want to enter in, Friday we'll have a prize. I've got to load up on some more prizes, but Friday we will have a prize, and so go ahead and text in today because you can enter to win for Friday. You do have to answer on Friday when we call. You can text us right now on that 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. Just text in your name, and we'll make sure that goes into the contest for Friday. Text in your name to 936-339-0139. That is the number to text in this week. We'll have a prize on Friday. Again, 936-339-0139 is the number to text. We're going to step aside. We'll take a break. We're going to talk about what it's the national day of when we come back, and Josie is going to hang out, and she will be our featured guest for Rick's top 10 list, right? You
Yep.
have no idea what it is.
No idea.
So step aside. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come as we continue uplifting and inspiring here. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville on a wonderful Wednesday, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us, please.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Elevate your business image with prestigious move-in ready suites ranging from 150 to 3,000 square feet. Enjoy conference and training rooms, furnished and unfurnished options, custom build-outs, phone service, and a welcoming lobby. Coffee bar and dining area included for tenants. Benefit from 24/7 secure access and flexible lease terms. Located on Lake Road. Move-in begins in January. Contact Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, back at it. Back at it now. Get on down here now. Come on down here. Speaking of Cajun country, man, how about Louisiana and Beaumont area in southeast Texas? County down there, I forget that county. Jefferson County. My buddy sent me a photo, 8 inches of snow in Jefferson.
Oh, my goodness.
It's over his ankle. It's like up halfway up his calf.
Oh, my gosh.
8 inches of snow. By the way, our streaming service is brought to you by our friends at Huntsville Memorial Hospital. They have been serving our community for many decades and doing a great job under new leadership. If you are in the need of great health care, expert health care here in our community, there's no reason to go down the road anymore. It's right here in our backyard. It's Huntsville Memorial Hospital, and we'll talk more about some great things that they're working on. But again, our streaming is brought to you by HMH. That's Huntsville Memorial Hospital. Appreciate all that they do. And when Braylon was little, needed a little blood test, because you have to get blood tests for the kids to do all sorts of stuff. We went over there. The nurses took great care of her doing that, so we appreciate HMH. Do want to have our special segment here in a moment. But first, before we get to Rick's Top 10, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, because I don't know the difference of these. I'm expanding my vocabulary. I'm taking a composition class right now online at ORU for my college stuff. But I get an email every morning from Word Smarts. I'm trying to, feel a little more smarter.
Uh-huh.
What is the difference between inshore, E-N-S-U-R, inshore, I-N-S-U-R-E, so inshore, and ashore? Okay? You want to take a stab at this? Inshore. What is that one with an E?
That means you're guaranteeing?
Yeah, like you're insuring something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. What about insure, the other one?
That means you're getting insurance on something.
What about assure?
Assure. Kind of like...
It's so hard to put this into your own words.
Yes, I don't
you
want
know
to
what
say,
it means.
Yes, I don't want to say like comfort, but maybe provide a guaranteed
feeling of comfort.
Answer, yeah.
Now put them all into one sentence, all right? You need to ensure that you have that you need to ensure that you have insurance so you can be assured when you get pulled over you won't get a ticket. Anyways, so here, if you say all those as fast as you can 5 times, you're going to get tongue-tied like crazy, right? Insure, assure. These terms all sound similar. Insure, it's a verb. Let's go back to see here if you got it right, Joe. Insure with an E, a verb with a variety of meanings as defined by Webster. It was first coined during the late 14th century as a verb to tell someone such as a person confidently that something is true. Other early definitions meant to pledge one's faith for the execution of a promise, to make a person mentally sure. In essence, insure always meant that you were trying to convince someone of a true fact, to keep them away from doubt. I ensure you that everything's going to be okay. I ensure you that everything's going to be okay, Josie. Now, insure with an I dates back to the mid-15th century. Okay, so 100 years later. Several of its definitions are quite similar to that of insure, according to Oxford English Dictionary. Ooh, sounds kind of stowery. As it too can mean to make a person sure of a thing, but insure differs in the context of commerce, as it's also used to secure the payment of a sum of money in the event of loss or damage. So despite the fact that insure with an E and insure with an I sometimes overlap, you would only use insure when talking about actual financial support. This will insure you in the event that you get into a car accident.
That makes sense. Perfect.
Then finally we have assure. That's the only one that sounds different. A term that has to do with the feeling of sense of safety. All right. People have used assure as far, well, I guess then my sentence was wrong because I said I insure you and it should have been I assure you. Right? When I said I assure you everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. You can rest assured.
See, that's it. A term that has to do with the sense of safety. People have used assure as far back as the 14th century, defined to make safe from or against risk. It can also mean to make stable, to establish securely, unlike how insure refers to reoccupying money, or assure is often used in the context of preventing those disasters from ever occurring again. So I guess you could say, like, I will insure that. I don't even know how to put those into a sentence. I'm going to fail this composition class, man. Good night. All right, so remember, here's what you need to remember. Insure has to do with the idea of convincing someone of a truth. I guess you could say that. I ensure that everything. I guess you could say. I
ensure that if you get your car insured, you can rest assured that you won't get a ticket for that.
Okay. Insure relates to money or something, and then assure has to do with sense of safety. There you go. Boy, that's confusing. I'm all messed up this morning. So there you go. That's your little word vocabulary for today. Is that going to mess you up the rest of the day now?
I think so. I'm going to be thinking about it a lot.
And Kyle hit the nail on the head. He said the other one is a dietary drink. Ensure.
I thought about that too.
Ensure that you're going to feel better after you drink this drink. All right, it's my favorite time. No, we don't want that one. Here we go. It's my favorite time of the show here on a wonderful Wednesday, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise. Check it out, Josie. You've never been a part of this before. It's time for Rick's Top 10, except today it's Josie bringing it to you. All right. You have any idea what it may be, Josie?
I have no idea.
All right, so here we go. This is a little fun one this morning. It's the National Day of something. It always is. This one's going to be really corny. We try to make these as corny as they can be just because it makes it better, all right? Today is, among many other things, Library Shelfie Day today. I'm not saying selfie like Sean Connery. Oh, I need to take a shelfie. It's Library Shelfie Day. It's the fourth Wednesday in January. Offers a unique opportunity for book lovers on Library Shelfie Day. Yes, I am the last one. I'm going to put my books on the shelf. Library Shelfie Day. Some collectors of books tend to arrange their collections so their spines can be admired pleasantly, the book spine. Others have a system of organization that results in an alternative art form. Have you ever seen a bookcase that the spines of the books are like the rainbow? I've seen one before.
Oh, yeah.
However, our books are organized on the shelf. They are meant to be photographed and shared on social media. Library shelfies offer bookstores, libraries, schools, and individuals an opportunity to express their reading preferences through a single photograph. See, this ties into Dolly Parton's Imagination Library.
It does.
Whether they frame their favorite authors, titles, genres of art, covers of art, readers share a bit of their library in creative ways. With or without dust jackets, signed and unsigned, dog-eared or in mint condition, bibliophiles love books of all kinds. So Library Shelfie Day is a day that you're supposed to take pictures of your library shelf, okay?
Got it.
So Rick's top 10 list today that Josie has prepared and put together, it is the top 10 things overheard on Library Shelfie Day. And I know it says 10 to 9, but just read it from 10 to 1. So we'll start with number 10. What is it? Number 10. Top 10 list.
Is this a shelfie or a selfie? I see a lot of mugshots between these book spines.
It's number 10. Number 9.
Who knew organizing by book color would be harder than writing the book?
Number 8. This is a good one.
Yes, Karen, we get it. You alphabetized your entire collection of cookbooks by dessert type.
Good job, Karen. Number 7.
I only read digital books, so here's a photo of my Kindle in a hammock next to my houseplants.
Yeah, it's a really bad one. These are corny. Number 6.
How many shelfies does it take to make me look like I actually finished War and Peace?
I never did read that book.
Me neither.
Number 5.
I created a tower of babbling books. It fell, but at least my cat is impressed.
There you go. These are really bad. Number 4.
Turns out my to-be-read pile is taller than I am. Should I be proud or worried?
That's what my truck looks like when I go to the library. I have, like, books. You know, you can go to the Huntsville Public Library, and I think you can check out up to 20 books.
Wow.
Now, why would you check out 20? I mean, if you had 20 children, I guess,
Wow.
right? All right, number 3.
Arranging tiles to spell buy more books might be a little on the nose, but it works.
Mm-hmm. And number 2.
Does this angle make my bookshelf look intellectual enough?
And the number 1 thing to do and overheard on Library Shelfie Day is...
Taking a shelfie was fun until I remembered I haven't returned my library books from 2009.
Man, these are just... Wow, this is about the worst ones I've ever...
That was pretty good.
Go ahead and wad that up there and just see if you can make it on the shelf over there. Are you a shelfie? All right, here we go.
I'm going for the
hold on.
mug.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. We got to get this here. This is, that's what I need to start doing is put something out there, so folks can see this. Hold on, Josie. Let's go to the phone here. Let me switch it over. All right, here she goes. This is live. Can you make it on the shelf?
Shout out to Elliott Jewelers. I'm about to make it in there.
You think you're going to make? That's a hard angle. Don't you have isn't there like a piece of metal in the way?
No, but I'm really good at this.
All right, here we go. We'll see if that turns out to be true. Well, it's fair. Oh, good job, Josie. You never know what's going to happen on the show. There you go. That is your time to shine here. Rick's top 10 list. Brought to you today by Josie Stowers. We'll be back in a moment. More to come. This is Good Morning Huntsville. I promise it'll get better. Stay with us. Brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. We'll be right back after this.
That was fun.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Deneen with Guardian Defense, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
The spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
Hey, Huntsville, welcome back at it. Time now 8:32 as we're winding down here on this wonderful Wednesday, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. More information online at tomorrowspromise.info. Josie Stower's in with us today for Rick and Kay Boning, who are just having a horrible time there in Cancun. So I don't even know if it's considered a vacation. They're working really hard, and tough go of it for them down there. I feel so terrible that they have to be down there in Cancun today.
I know.
You ever
it's
been
a
out
bummer.
of the country like that?
Nope.
Never been out of the country?
Mm-mm.
You know what? I don't ever want to act surprised. Some people you never saw that before, and that used to annoy the fire out of me. Well, you don't know about that movie? No, because I don't watch a lot of movies. You don't know what the worst is music. When people are like, you don't know what that song is? I can't believe you don't know what that song is. I don't listen to a lot of music.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a lot of Christian music, but I don't know. I'll watch some of these award shows on TV just by accident because I'm browsing through the channels, and then it's some bogus garbage that I don't even know any people that are on there at all. None.
Yes.
And apparently they're famous. They've been around for 15 years, and I've never even heard of them. So anyway, Josie was trying to send me. It probably won't go through because I have an Android. You're on an Apple, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I probably won't get it right away. But tell us the story of the cat real quick. There was a cat. You know what? I could probably do this. Look, I could show your phone through my phone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, put your phone right here. Here, let's watch this. I didn't even think about this. And then you give me a little bit of a rundown of let's see the right way. Give me a rundown of what we're seeing here, Josie, all right?
So this is
bucket truck up there?
Yes. We rented it from the Home Depot.
You had to go rent a bucket truck for this.
My cat, so I live in a 2-story house, and my cat was about 30 feet higher than our 2-story house, stuck in a tree. It got chased up there by a dog, and we had decided that, it was just going to have to figure out how to come down by himself, and after a week, he never did. So,
wait, the cat was up there for a week?
Yes, 7 days.
How did it eat?
It didn't. He didn't.
That poor cat?
I know. And I will say this. Wait, let me find the other picture.
Josie, that's not cool, man. I was laughing. That's terrible.
Yes, it was heartbreaking because he was just,
All right, hold on. Let me get back over here to this. Let's fire this
video you can
Okay, what are we
see.
looking at? Is this the kitty?
Yes, I'm going to zoom in on him. You see his head right there?
Yes, poor guy.
Yeah.
I'm not even a cat fan, but this cat. So what day was this when it was in the tree? Was this day 7?
This might have been the first day.
Boy, this is new. This is viral newsworthy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a whole week, and
PETA's going to be calling you for leaving that poor cat up there for so long.
we thought maybe he would try to jump on the roof, and I kept trying to, kind of listen for a loud thud, but our roof is
That's
so
horrible.
I know. But we put a 25-foot ladder up, and Brett even climbed the tree a little bit higher. He probably went 30 feet in the air.
How old is this cat?
Maybe 2 years old. He's kind of young.
Was he real skinny when you got him down?
No, No, he was really fat
I
before.
bet he found some critters to eat up there.
He might have. And it was through we had a bad storm. It was like it was probably like 38 degrees the first night, and it was raining.
So how long ago was this?
That was...
I mean, we're not talking like the cat was there through the snowstorm.
No.
Because if not, I'd be putting in a call to PETA.
Yeah. December 9th.
So this cat, it started on the 9th? Is this when Cat Apocalypse started, was on the 9th?
Yes, and so it was, I think that was a Saturday,
and
if
then
I'm not
7
mistaken.
days later, you had to go rent this.
Yep.
How much
Saturday
did the lift
to
cost?
Saturday. It cost, well, to get it was around $1,000, but you get so much money back whenever you return it and everything's fine. So it ended up being like $360. So it wasn't horrible, because I've heard that if you call the fire department, you get a bill, and it's really expensive. So we didn't want to do that.
Well, you should have called Chief Mathis. I'm going to be honest. $360?
Yes.
Man, at that point, I'd just take buckets of water and like a rope to throw up there and just, call it done.
Well, and we actually wanted to do that. We actually wanted to send some rope up there, but we couldn't get the rope high enough to go over the bridge.
Were y'all trying?
We were. Brett bought a slingshot. The only I think
okay, so
we
there's
had a
more
bow
money.
and arrow.
So there was more money that was invested in this than just the
Yes.
the lift.
Yes.
Did y'all tell Home Depot when you went to rent this what it was for?
No, I don't think so.
So I can see the headline now: a family cat love affair. So in love with this cat, spends $1,000 to get it down from a tree.
Yes. Well, and I was.
Well, you could have just called a tree company to cut the tree down. It may have been, you could have did that, and then you could have just cut the tree down yourself.
That is true.
You could have rented a chainsaw for probably $30.
Well, and I called animal control first, but we're outside the city limits, so there wasn't anything that they could do. And she said that she would call, it wasn't Chief Mathis, but somebody else at the fire department and ask. And whoever she talked to said that most of the time the cats get scared and run higher, so what they end up having to do is shoot them out of the tree with the water hose. And it was so high, I was just thinking, that.
Yeah, how high do you think this was?
I think he was at least 50 feet. I would say probably
Did this
about
lift
60.
go all the way up? Almost to the maximum extension?
So I think the lift was 40 feet, and then it had the things on the bottom, like the extension. And so it ended up being just perfect.
So just to wrap up this story, this was your boyfriend getting the cat out of the tree. What's his name again?
Brett.
So Brett had to get up in the tree. He had to go rent the lift. Who paid for the lift? You
Brett.
did? Brett did? Okay, well, then he really does love you. So there you go, Brett. Good job, Brett. This thing goes up 60 feet. Did he know how to operate it the first time the right way? Was it like a pretty smooth operation? Was he a smooth operator?
Yes.
Okay.
I will say we did have some a few things fly across the yard at first, because when we rented the truck, and this wasn't Brett's
What do you mean
fault.
stuff flying across the yard? The story gets better and better.
Do you ever get really mad when you're working
Oh,
you're
yeah.
working on something and it just
okay. I get what you're saying. Okay.
So when he first started using or trying to do it, it was wrapped around too much. It wasn't put back correctly. It was like wound up 2 more times and then put back, and so it wasn't moving how it should.
Okay.
But then Brett figured out that it just had to be unwound.
The lift. You had to spin it around a couple of times. Okay.
Yes, and then it was fine. But yeah, he Brett's a welder, and he works a lot with putting up barn dominium.
So he's used to these kind of height
Yes.
things. Okay.
Yeah, luckily.
All right,
Thank
so
goodness.
final part of the story, Brett gets up there. How long did it take the cat obviously was up there 7 days. How long did it take to get this lift set up and then raise it all the way up there? Would you give it like 2 hours, maybe 4 hours? Or pretty
15
short?
15 minutes.
15 minutes,
Mhm.
okay. So
The
Brett,
hardest part was backing it up to the tree.
okay, so Brett gets it. That is hard to back those trailers up, by the way. So Brett gets this trailer, puts it down, extends it, raises up. The cat. Tell us about the cat once he gets up there.
He was very excited when Brett was coming up there, but when Brett went to pull him off of, it's my cat technically. We inherited it from my grandma, and I think that's the only reason.
What's the cat's name?
I don't know if this is. My grandma had 2 cats, and she said that when she was younger, the worst thing that you could call somebody was a yellow-bellied sapsucker. So she had Yellow Belly and Sapsucker, and that's the one that we have is Yellow Belly.
Okay, Yellow Belly. Yellow Belly the cat. Okay.
Yes. But that's Brett's cat. That cat loves Brett.
Okay.
And Brett doesn't want to admit it, but he.
So he gets up there to get Yellow Belly.
And he's trying to pry him off. It takes him a good 10 seconds to pull the cat off the tree. I guess his bones had just kind of.
His claws were dug in. He was scared.
Yes. Yeah. At one of the days.
God, the poor cat slept up there?
Yes. Well, I don't know if he slept at all, but one of the days I could see he was falling asleep, and I was like, oh, if he falls.
All right. Well, there you go. This is the craziest cat story I've ever heard of. This is the reason I don't like cats, unless there's someone else's. And Bob Barker would always say, make sure you spay or neuter your cats. Yes. I will say, make sure you declaw your cats. See, if you declaw your cats, some people say it's inhumane, but it's going to save you $360 and a story to tell on Good Morning Huntsville. Because if the cat was declawed, couldn't have climbed up the tree to begin with.
That is true, but I won't do a litter box. And I feel like if you declaw him, you have to keep him in the house.
Is he an outdoor cat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. There you go.
Well, I let him. I have 2. I let him in to eat.
So my respect for your cat has actually just went up because you said I don't keep a litter box. That's why I don't like the cats.
Yes, that is the worst.
Yeah, they get in the litter box and they walk all over your cat, all over your tables and everything else. Mm-hmm. Just think if humans did that.
I know.
Excuse me. Meow. All right. Well, there you go. Josie's in. Kyle said, way to show us up, Brett. Thanks a lot, Brett, for showing all of us guys up and rescuing your girl's cat. Now I got to figure out something to do for Bridget. Thanks a lot. All right. Well, there it is. It's the cat story.
Get her a kitten.
Yeah, get her a kitten. Hey, many of you are joining us this morning. We're about to wrap up. Good morning to Jamie Saucier from Saucier Woodworks. Good to see you on. How about Carolyn Gibson, the grandma of Huntsville, joining us, the grandmother of Huntsville. Good morning to you, Carolyn. Kyle Kreiner, of course, is with us. Good to see you on this morning, my friend. How about Sandra Mooney joining us? Sandra Mooney joining us today. Good to see you on, Miss Sandra. Tammy Trotter saying good morning, Josie and Rob. You seen Tammy lately?
I haven't. It's been a while.
Tammy, do I owe you any gifts or anything or prize? I can't remember. Yeah, you took her something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did. She got it, right?
Yes.
Was it a Cafe Texan? I don't remember what it was.
I can't remember if I unwrapped it or not.
But she got it. All right.
Yes.
Well,
I think so.
Unwrapped it. Jennifer Augustinetti joining us. She's saying good morning. It's a wonderful Wednesday. Good to see you on, Jennifer. And she said it's still pretty cold, but we're over the hump. Have a blessed day. Find a Bible study to attend. Appreciate you, Jennifer. Always good to see you. Quentin Glaze on with us this morning, the number one engager of our platform. Autumn Wheaton, she is saying good morning, Huntsville family. Bridget Maloney, good morning to you, Bridget. Tanya joining us, saying good morning, everyone. How about El Turpening in New Waverly, Texas, joining us? Good morning to you. I bet y'all got some snow in New Waverly, too. Probably more than we did. Phyllis Dillard, good morning to you. And many others also. We wanted to say hello to you all. Hey, I did want to leave you with a little bit of inspiration this morning. You know, as we find ways to be thankful and to give back to our local communities. You know, yesterday, let me start with this. It's, you know, don't bash people for being closed. All right, it's so easy to make that call to say, "Oh, the roads were fine. Why did everybody close?" Number one, we're not used to this kind of weather down here in the southeast Texas. I lived up in Fargo, so I can understand from someone that was up north and then seeing what happens here. It would be laughable, let's be honest, because up there, I mean, I was driving to work in a blizzard. But I also understand that we don't have that type of weather here that often. So number one, don't rush to judgment and bash somebody for being closed. Somebody in my hometown of Georgetown bashed a local restaurant. She's like, "Oh yeah, well, so much for this restaurant. They were closed, and this is why this restaurant's better." That's not a cool thing to put that restaurant down just for being closed. Number two is, it is kind of a joyful time, especially for children.
Yes.
If there's a few sprinkles of snow out there, let the kids enjoy it. Take the day off.
Yes.
You don't get to experience that much, and that's kind of my argument. I'm glad that you guys decided to be closed yesterday. I know y'all were open at the main campus for essential workers.
Yes, yeah.
But overall, closed unless people needed it. Y'all were still there for folks. But, man, let the kids enjoy the day.
Yes.
If you're a grumpy adult, well, they're closed, it's not about you. It's about the little ones, man. I have children, and so now I understand that concept. On a day like yesterday, it's really about the children.
It really is.
Did y'all get to go out at the main campus? Did the kids get to go out? Do you know?
I'm not
Probably
sure.
kept them.
I'll have to ask whenever I go in today.
So, but, it's about the children. And the biggest thing is there was a lot of businesses that decided to close their doors yesterday. And I thought about this morning, if it'll show up. I posted on the Hello Huntsville Facebook page. And by the way, if you don't follow us on Facebook, you need to. But I posted this this morning, and I said many small businesses were closed the past couple of days. They were closed Monday for Martin Luther King Day. But then yesterday, many of them closed because of the weather. All right. And when the schools say that they're going to close, that means kids are at home. What about these small businesses that have children and they have to stay with their kids? It's hard for them.
Yeah.
So they're going to close their businesses or they want to be safe for their employees. So I said this, please consider making it a priority today to patronize those businesses and help them where you can. For a small business, losing a day of work can be a make or break situation. So for those restaurants that were closed, I know El Gordo was open. I DoorDashed them because I was hungry. Really? But you know what? Go support local. It's just another way to support local business. So this morning, think about some businesses that maybe were closed yesterday, especially the mom and pop shops. And go support them because they need that business today. Don't judge them because they decided to, well, if they really needed to be open, then they should have stayed open. No, it's not that simple. So quit that stinking thinking.
Yes.
And go support these local businesses.
Yes.
That's all I got today, Josie. Not a whole lot else going on. Got some weird stuff all over my. It's like what is that? It's like lint all over my pant.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What do you got for us, Josie? What else?
I'm happy to go back to work. I'm happy that things are it's really cold, but I'm happy things are kind of going back to normal. So it's a great day.
No more holidays except Valentine's Day right around the corner. Yes. Other than that, ain't nobody got time because we are back. Billy wanted to know, ask Josie if she lives at the end of Summer Place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the very end, that little U.
Then he says, what is her social security? No, just kidding. So I think Billy lives over in that area.
Oh, really?
Maybe, yeah. So there you go, Billy. All right, well, that'll wrap it up. Hey, go by and see our friends at Tomorrow's Promise. They are doing big things here in our community for young people. My children go there. They're thriving. And so if you're looking for a place that will actually educate your child, not just a place for them to sit and watch TV, because they don't do that at Tomorrow's Promise. It's a place where they're going to get hands-on learning, where your children are going to come home and they're going to want to pour water all over cups throughout your house. But I'd rather them do that than stay glued to a screen. It's Tomorrow's Promise. The Montessori method is very successful. Your children will thrive and excel. That's the vision that Kay Boning was placed in into her heart over 27 years ago, and Tomorrow's Promise is thriving here in our community. A couple of events coming up. The Run With Your Imagination 5K Color Run. I mean, these are coming up. I say coming up, but it is the first Saturday in May. Start making preparation for that. And then you fast forward to the second Saturday in September. It's Unleash Your Imagination. So a couple of save the dates there for you. Josie, before we go, just give us a quick rundown on what you're already doing to prepare for these events, even though they're several months away.
We're already accepting donations for items for Lasso, our auction and our silent auction and everything. That's always a really big hit, and we always have some really good items to showcase. And then with the 5K Color Run, I was able to get some. I'll just go ahead and say I'm super excited. I was able to get a inflatable start and finish line, so I'm really, really excited about that. I think it's going to bring a whole new look to the Color Run too, and I'm hoping this year is even bigger than last year, and we're going to have even more fun.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Hey, and a few small businesses. I said that here on Hello Huntsville we were going to do a better job this year. One of our resolutions was to help promote small business. Of course, we're going to promote folks like crazy that spend their time and resources investing in our platform to bring you the good news. but I still want to help out folks. I'm not going to nickel and dime everybody, but there are a few companies that have already responded to that. Stainbusters Carpet Cleaning said that they were closed yesterday, so if you need your carpet cleaned, there's a business to go to. Also, how about Five Loaves Deli for lunch today? Five Loaves was closed.
I love Five Loaves.
A&D Propane, they were closed yesterday, so for all of your propane needs, there's our friend Steven. Carla Christian had said that she already has plans for Five Loaves Deli for lunch. So there's a restaurant to go to today.
Nice.
And then our friend Nathan over at Ink Slingers saying stop by Ink Slingers today for all of your T-shirt needs and those kind of things. So there's just a few businesses that we want to promote. They don't advertise with us. I hope they do. But we want to promote small business here in our community. So go out and support these folks. And if you're looking for great companies to do business with anytime, you can go to our Hello Huntsville Ethical Business Directory. We've got about 50 businesses that are a part of that. We'd love for you to join. It's only $89 a year, and we'll help promote you in a community as a company to go to for products and services that the consumer can trust. Again, it's Hello Huntsville, our Ethical Business Directory. Go to our website, click on that. You guys, of course, are part of that at Tomorrow's Promise. Well, hey, that'll wrap it up. We'll be back at it tomorrow, Thursday. Jason Bay from First Baptist on the show with us, so we're looking forward to that. And then we'll wrap it up on Friday with Billy Cawthon of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. And I did want to mention, too, tomorrow we'll have Sky Carlton from Deep Clean, Texas, with her monthly appearance here on the show. And then Carla Christian from the Josie Scout Lodge will be with us on Friday. So we got a great remainder of the week lined up. Big shout-out to Josie for hanging out with us, even though her basketball skills were like Bruce Bowen in the playoffs for the Spurs, missing free throw shots. But, hey, no one knows who that reference is. I'm a big Spurs fan, but you get the gist of it.
Yes.
Or Shaquille O'Neal trying to shoot a free throw. He was one of the worst in the league.
Oh, see, I do know Shaquille O'Neal's not
go.
very good, so.
Yeah, so she was throwing it down like Shaq a while ago and missing. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Friends, as we wrap this up today, a big thank you to everyone who's a part of our platform. Thank you to Tomorrow's Promise, Elliott's Jewelers, and many others helping us to bring you this show every day, and also our new streaming partner, Huntsville Memorial Hospital. As I end every show, reminding you this morning we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until next time, we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:30. So long, everyone. See you, Josie.
Bye.
It's time to open up. Goodbye to the fallow year. Heaven help us now. Your promise draws near. It's more than a chance. It's your work in our heart. When you say you will, when you say you've done all things made new, so we run, run, run. Oh my God, you are faithful, so faithful. You've shown me so far. You're able, so able. Lead us now, Lord. We're with you all the way. You can have our hearts, our attention, and our praise. Out with the old, in with the new. I'm not giving up yet, 'cause this is the truth. It's just the start, so we dance, dance, dance. Your spirit's alive, so we lift up our hands. Go on, testify. Let the world hear your name. The kingdom is here. Let your glory remain. For this is the time, the reason we breathe, to tell every soul of the grace we believe. Here it comes, he's on the way. New heaven, new earth. Everything remade. All creation in rebirth. All things are new, no turning back now. Out with the old and we shout it out loud. Out with the old, in with the new. I'm not giving up yet, 'cause this is the truth.